Best bit for Monday.
Well, a scary show because everybody was stuck in traffic. There's a tube strike today, so people not arriving, trying to do them down the telephone, Ryland, Facebook, FaceTime. So it was tough. It was tough, but the guests that arrived were fantastic.
Having Scarlett in, looking absolutely fabulous, but also the first time we'd seen her since she'd been in the jungle. And actually the first time she'd been on this sofa.
Yeah.
She's just one of those people you feel like you know and been around forever.
And then lovely Martin Clunes with his Doc Martin.
So good. So good.
There are 8,000 islands in Australia. You've done 16 of them, so this has got you set for life now.
It could be. It could see me out, yes, and viewers too.
And so the great thing is that when you go to these islands, and I'm thinking about Lord Howe Island, you are massive there. They all know you.
Yes,
Doc
and
Martin's huge.
in Norfolk Island, they were screaming at the airport. A crowd of ladies.
Were they really?
They made signs, didn't they?
They made signs, we love Doc Martin. Doc Martin!
Oh,
Do that again! Doc Martin! I think they just thrilled anybody turns up. Do you know what I mean? Especially people off their telly. Because they're so remote and so nobody knows about these islands, do they? You think you know everything about the Western world and nobody knows a thing about the islands of Australia.
I saw a mouse.
Where?
There on by the chair.
It was. Little mouse listening to us while we were doing our health headlines with Dr Grace. Just sat there watching. And I had to wait until I could see myself off camera to go...
It was, and I only realised when you went like that, when the camera cut off, and you went like that, and I looked up, and it took a run for it.
Yeah, it went.
And then it was in a pipe down here, with all the wires in, and then it was apparently after Amanda, our nutritionist, bag because it had nuts in it.
She had nuts in it.
It wanted that.
Healthy nuts, healthy snack.
I think we've got two. I think we have a mouse.
I think we've got
here.
naughty mouse and we've got shy mouse.
But my favourite part of the programme had to be. I mean, I like making you jump, but I never know the combination of disasters that could actually befall me if I do that.
You do. Let's hope you don't really find out the combination of disasters.
You make Holly jump, she said. I nearly swore, fell off my heels and weed myself.
Oh, there you go.
And also, I loved that. And right at the very end, we didn't know about it, so we'll finish with our little cartoon that was at the end of the show. Our best bit for today.
That's all, folks.
Bye now. Best bit for today. Do you know, we started really positively today.
We did.
A little bit of a breaking story that had everyone interested yesterday.
Yes, on the edge of their seats from yesterday. We had a mouse in our studio.
I hesitate to use the word infestation. There's one. So that's that one. Just very, very slow. Whoop! It comes out the pipe. See, we wouldn't really bother, but, you know, there are cables here which carry an enormous amount of electricity, and the last thing we want to do is to set fire to ourselves. And obviously with the safety of the mouse in mind. And so this morning, our team managed to capture the mouse.
There he is!
And, look, under a silver platter, only on this morning. Look at that.
Off he goes to Pasta's new little thing. And apparently, Deirdre was telling me that you have to take them 3 miles away for them not to come back.
That's snails, isn't it?
No, that's what she said, mice. 3 miles away you have to drive them.
Really?
Otherwise they will come back.
Oh, well, he'll be back in by now,
I think he's already back.
Oh, man. Well, at least it gives us an opportunity to sing. I saw a mouse where there on the stair, where on the stair, right there, a little mouse with claws on, well, I declare, glowing clip, clippity clop on the stairs. Oh, yeah. This mouse, that's enough now.
Well, best bits for a Thursday. We had a, well, what do you call a collection of animals that's not a zoo? I was going to say a menagerie, but what's that?
Well, yeah,
Birds?
menagerie à trois.
Menagerie à trois. We had lots of animals in the studio today.
One of them made you jump.
One of them made me jump big time, which was the orangutan from Borneo, which the man said to me beforehand. I said, does it move? And he went, no. And I was like, oh, OK, that's a shame, because we were told that they were animatronic and they move. And then just as we went...
Not strictly the way the conversation went.
That's how it went in my head. That's what I read from that conversation.
I think you looked at it and said, is it moving? And he said no. because it wasn't turned on at the time. And then it was holding a cup of tea, and someone said, "Is it going to pick up the cup of tea?" And he said, "No, because it's, you know, that's not what it's programmed to do." And all of that, I think,
made me think it's not going to move. And then suddenly, just before we went on it was like 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and I looked at it, and it just went. I was like, it's alive!
See, actually, you were nearly, like, 3 seconds before we came off the opening side of the County Studio, you were nearly in tears. Oh, it's frightened me now.
Oh, anyway, but they were very clever, and it just goes to show how real they are.
They were
Doesn't
very
it?
real.
It just goes to show. I was fooled.
Do you think that was an animatronic mouse yesterday?
Maybe. Maybe. Yeah.
Just the warm-up act.
Yeah, maybe. Well, we shouldn't have put it outside then. They'll be most upset. 3 years in the making.
Thousands of pounds worth of kit, and we dumped it on the South Bank. Oh.
Don't say anything.
Now, who are we impersonating in this clip?
I admit it, JR. I fell off the wagon, but I promise you, I'm gonna stop drinking.
Sue Ellen, don't kid yourself. We both know you're a lush. If I was to take a drink out of that glass, we both know it'll be vodka. Darling, you're a drunk and a tramp.
Joan of Arc, she'd be a drunk if she was married to you.
But she wasn't married to me, and I don't want a drunk for a wife. Why don't you do us both a favor and end this marriage now?
It's not Richard and Judy. No, no, it's not
and
Phillip.
Holly.
No,
No.
it's not them either. It is JR and our star guest today, Sue Ellen, Linda Gray.
Yeah.
How nice is
Wasn't
she?
it amazing meeting her? Who'd have thought when we were watching Dallas, when we were younger, that one day we'd be sitting on this sofa interviewing
But
Sue Ellen?
Ruthie, when we were younger, we were 12, 13, 14, 15. She just looks exactly
She
the
looks
same.
amazing. She is, what, 76?
76.
76.
It's witchcraft.
And she looks fantastic. But do you know what's lovely about her? It's not just how she looks. She's full of energy and life and
It's
fun.
from within.
Yeah, and she's a lovely, lovely person.
And if you were nicer and lovelier from within, you could look
could
like
be
that
like
too.
that,
You
yeah.
could. Here she is.
Well, I was invited by Brian Kirkwood to come to England. I happened to be in Dallas, Texas for a fashion event. And I got on the plane. It was my birthday. I landed in Heathrow, and I was whisked away, got a coffee and whisked away in a car, driven by a wonderful part of the crew, man on the crew, Gareth, my dear new friend. He's my new best friend. So we're driving along, and I said, Gareth, I'm really hungry, and it's my birthday. Do you think we could stop somewhere and have a little food? So he pulled into a truck stop. Is that what you call them here?
Service station.
Service station with some the very large sort of shopping, eating place. And so we got out of the car, and he walked me into this place. We chose sandwiches wrapped in, sort of cardboard. Yes, cardboard and saran wrap or
Do
whatever.
people recognise you?
Yes.
And their mouths hang open. They sort of can't
They
believe
don't. I walked very fast. I had a sandwich in my mind. So we
hungry.
bought sandwiches and chips, and we got back in the car, and he sang happy birthday to me. And I thought, this is the most unusual birthday I think I've ever had. I have no idea where we were. We were somewhere between Heathrow and Liverpool. Driving. I have no idea.
Gareth will probably tell that story. Nobody will believe him.
they
will
will.
So you never guess what. I sat in the car with Linda Gray on her birthday. They're going, yeah, right, of course you did, Gareth.
But, yeah, we had little sandwiches and chips. It was hysterical.
Do you want to see more from our best bits? Well, you're in luck. Simply click here. And if you don't want to miss out, then make sure you click subscribe.